Hey, Tuesday morning, Dominic Steele here for Daily Bible Time, and we are walking with Christ, and we've landed in the Apostle Paul's letter to the Christian church in Colossae, and we're up to chapter 3, and I just want to start today by telling you a little bit about my teenage years. One of the defining events of my childhood was when in 1977 I was in year 7 at school, and some friends of my parents bought a new stereo, and they gave me their old second-hand radio, and for the first time I discovered commercial radio and rock and roll. And for me, it was wonderful. I was just fascinated by radio, and particularly by Sydney's then dominant under-30s radio station 2SM. And it sounds strange to people today to speak of the amazing profile that 2SM had in the lives of children of my generation. I was fascinated by the music, the announcers, the way they handled the news, the competitions, the promotions. It was everything. And all I wanted to do was to be on the radio and to be on 2SM. This is a photo of me growing up, 1978. My mum made me a 2SM birthday cake, and then in 1979 I visited the radio station for the first time, and inspired by the way the station's logo was woven into the carpet, I made my own carpet version of the radio station's logo. I collected all the posters that they put out, pictures of the bands, top 100s. I was passionate about radio and that radio station. I analysed the playlists, I did work experience. I always wanted to be a broadcaster. I raise this today because as we continue to work through this series, Walking with Christ, we are encouraged today to have a passion, to have a focus, to have a direction. See, we're in the Apostle Paul's letter to the Christian church in Colossae, 2,000 years ago, Colossae in Turkey, little town, the other side of the continent from Jerusalem, and the Apostle Paul is writing to this tiny little group. In chapter 3, verse 1, he says, "So, if you have been raised with Christ, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things, where Christ is seated. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ with God. And when Christ, who is your life, appears, you will appear with him in glory." These are people, they've started to walk with Christ, and he says, have a passion, set your mind, your heart. This is a command for them, for us, a command to have our heart set, our mind set on the things above, to have our heart set on heaven, and a command to be passionate about heaven, not about radio. He says, I don't want you to be thinking about the earthly things. I don't want you to be thinking about the radio, the weekend sport, the promotion, the mortgage, the office politics, any of that stuff. Rather, he says, set your mind on things above. Have a passion for heaven. Actually, there's a question there that Paul is presuming something about the group of people that he's speaking to that actually may or may not be true of you. And it's that you see the first sentence there, if you have been raised with Christ. And so I need to actually ask you, have you been raised with Christ? Has that happened to you? That's going to be our question tomorrow morning on Daily Bible Time.